Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Bavaria. We are in Landshut for round number 3 of the SGP World Speedway Championship. We've been blessed with a beautiful day. We've had qualifying earlier on today, and the sun has been out throughout, and we have a capacity crowd. Atmosphere is absolutely electric out there. We'll take a look at the calendar. We've had a couple of Grand Prix already. We were in Croatia at the beginning in April. Last week, just 7 days ago, we were in Warsaw where we witnessed a fabulous Grand Prix, and we're looking for something similar here in Landshut tonight. We're back in Germany, in the south of Germany, and it's a glorious part of the world. And as I say, we've had a glorious day so far, so plenty of expectation. Looking forward to the meeting tonight. As I mentioned earlier, we did have a Grand Prix here back in 1997, which was actually postponed by a day, and it was Hans Nielsen that came out on top on that particular time, and it was quite a different. We had Greg Hancock also was involved with that as well. So let's make our way down to Greg Hancock, Chris Louis, and firstly Abby Stevens.
So the last time that we were here for a Grand Prix event was back in 1997 with these two gentlemen competing. Mr. Louis ended the night in 7th, Greg on the podium in 3rd. Now, Greg, you and I spoke in Warsaw and you were telling me about, you know, the rain that came and it was held the next day. What was it about day events that you used to absolutely relish?
You know, I grew up in Southern California. We rode in the daytime quite often, and for me, I absolutely loved riding in the day. So when that one was canceled and it was running at 2 o'clock or something the following day, or 1 o'clock, I was like, oh, this is like my backyard. I'm going to love every minute of it.
And did you?
I did. I really wanted to win it, but I finished 3rd. I'm pretty happy.
Damn Hans Nielsen.
Yeah, that Hans, he was pretty decent, right, Chris?
He wasn't bad.
Yeah, he was all right. I think, yeah, he was okay.
Now, Chris, you had a more cultured weekend out on the track and visiting art galleries in nearby Munich.
I knew you'd bring that up.
What were your memories of that event?
Well, I didn't enjoy day meetings. I didn't grow up in California with the sunshine. So, look, this track is a bit of a one-off, particularly, I think, right now with the series that we've got and the tracks that we visit. I struggled with the slick conditions. I think the boys now, with the setup of the bikes, how they are, actually going to find it really difficult to extract the best out of their bikes on this particular track. But, you know, look, fond memories. I like coming to Bavaria. The sun is shining, the beer is flowing. I always enjoyed racing in Germany.
Now, you're obviously in the commentary box nowadays, also a promoter at Ipswich, which is back in the British Premiership. How has the sport of Speedway evolved over the years?
I mean, the bikes have evolved, that's for sure. And as I said, you know, on this particular track, I think the guys are going to find it tough tonight. For me, as an ex-rider, I'm really looking forward to the struggles they have to get the best out of their bikes tonight. That's going to be the big thing. Look, you know, the bikes have evolved, for me, not always in a good way, but they're fast, and they certainly give us a lot of excitement and entertainment. You know, they're quite tough to ride. I'm sure, you know, Greg rode through that development, really, and I'm sure he will agree.
Chris, thank you. Enjoy the struggles out on the track.
Hopefully they won't struggle too much.
Well, look, Greg earlier today went on a track walk. Let's hear what the 4-time world champion has to say about this track, the longest on the Grand Prix calendar.
Well, we're here in Landshut. This is like an iconic track from the past. I kind of like to refer to it as probably the last of some of the old school speedway tracks. German tracks in particular are usually, a lot of them are right around 400 meters, but they're around a football pitch typically. So by doing that, you run out of space. It gets slightly narrow going into the corners when you got such long straightaways. And then as you approach the corners, it gets really, really tight. Then you get kind of a long period there of trying to just kind of hold the line and then having to turn one more time on the way out. But coming from the starting line, gate number 3 on a track like this kind of is normally the one that's the most difficult. The riding line kind of takes you right over it. It's the hardest one to make, so probably the one you can focus on for this event. When you come down to kind of the eye level of the track, you can see there's a slight banking up to about a crown here, and then it really drops off. So a track with this much speed at the end of the straightaway, if you get over the top of this crown, you're going to be, you know, giving a kiss to the air fence. not recommended at all. So you'll see that they've ripped the track up a little bit, and that's pretty much the point where, right where you hit that part where they started to rip it, is kind of going to be your turning point. You want to stay on the edge of that to be the fastest around the track. More in the middle of the meeting, or maybe a third of the way in. The beginning, everyone will be tight around the inside and then chasing the dirt line that develops. This will be interesting to see. The guys are going to be racing hard into this first corner. It's going to get extremely tight. There's going to be a lot of pushing and shoving right around the midline here coming into the first bend, and then the guys are trying to line it up to get their wheels in line and slingshot down that extremely long straightaway. And this is kind of one of the last of the extremely fast tracks. You're going really, really quick when you get to the corner, so pay attention to the apex, or what they can make of the apex.
Greg, thank you. Well, we were last in action just 7 days ago in Warsaw in the spectacular Narodowy Stadium in front of 50,000 fans. And it was another Aussie on the charge, this time Jason Doyle.
The Grand Prix of Poland was once again a tremendous success. 50,000 fans in the Narodowy Stadium came to cheer on the best riders in the world. In the Polish capital, it was Jason Doyle who came out on top with his first SGP win since 2017. After a poor start in Croatia, Dan Bewley gave a boost to his campaign in Warsaw. Victory in the first ever sprint race gave him 4 extra championship points. Although he didn't manage to reach the final, the day after, his 6th place in Warsaw moves him up to 8th in the standings. Jack Holder didn't make the final in Warsaw, but the winner in Croatia showed good pace nonetheless. He fought hard all night, scoring 10 points in the heats, but just lost out in the semi-final. The Aussie is still in 2nd in the championship chase. Robert Lambert made his first final of the season with a last gasp effort on the run to the line in the semis. The British champion again rode strongly throughout the meeting, finishing in 3rd place in Warsaw. A win at the highest level cannot be far away. Bartosz Zmarzlik, the reigning world champion, missed out on winning in Warsaw, but a 2nd place finish in the Narodowy and 2 finals made, he is in a rock-solid 2nd place in the championship. With great support all night, Zmarzlik was satisfied with his night's work.
Very happy because I've been again in the podium and final in Warsaw, because this runs for me so really hard.
Jason Doyle is in a rich vein of form this season. 2nd in Croatia, Doyle grabbed victory in Warsaw, his first since he was in Melbourne in 2017, the year he won the title. He dominated in Warsaw. He is the championship leader, enjoying it more than ever this year.
I cannot put it into words how hard my team's worked for the last 7 years to finally get a win. I can't really say what I'm feeling at the moment. I want to be around all the people that have been close to me when it's been tough. So as long as I keep my feet grounded, we've got a long way to go still, but I'll cherish this moment and enjoy it while I can.
Fabulous moment for Jason Doyle then just 7 days ago. And he's got off to a superb start this year with a 2nd place in Croatia, then winning 7 days ago, 38 World Championship points. A lot of people saying he was past it. That is just not the case. 32 points apiece for Holder and Zmarzlik, 2nd equal. And it's going to be tight, but you just sense that Zmarzlik is lurking. But a fabulous start for Jason Doyle nonetheless, and he'll be chuffed to bits. And he knows what it takes. There's no doubt about that. And he'll keep pushing on. He won't be fazed by the fact that he is now the leader of the World Championship. So we can hear from Jason Doyle now.
hope I can keep these results as it is, but I know it's going to be very tough coming to new tracks today, and hopefully we get the right setup pretty quick and get the points. It's going to be tough, so I don't think ahead. I just try to do my job and try to enjoy it. I grew up watching Nicky Pedersen and Jason Crump riding hard, elbow to elbow, pushing each other around, and I find that there's a lot of riders now what are doing the football approach, where they get a little knock and they fall off, and hopefully for the exclusion. So yeah, I guess I'm hard, and this is not going to change. I'm not going to sit there and ride around and do half-hearted moves. It's either do or die, and yeah, it might be aggressive sometimes, but this is World Championship Speedway, and you've got to be the best. Yeah, I've been here twice. I laugh about the first time. I ended up in a helicopter on the way to hospital. I cut my leg badly and woke up in a helicopter. But the second time was a lot better, and it's a nice racetrack, always well prepared. Sometimes it can be very critical from the start, so I'm looking forward to a pretty tough night tonight. It's always the goal to be on the podium, but to get the points is the main thing. It's like I said, it's a long way to go, and just need to keep digging at it and hopefully for the best.
Strong words by the Aussies. That's what we love about Jason Doyle. But Greg, I actually caught up with him in Sheffield earlier this week, where Ipswich Witches were competing. Asked him where he drew on his motivation, something that you'll know a lot about. And he said it was about proving people wrong. Have you been impressed with him so far this season?
Yeah, I've been impressed with him since he won the World Championship, quite a few years back. But do or die, right? I mean, that is Jason, totally. I mean, we've seen him do some really hard moves, and I wouldn't say it's crazy. It's just he's pushing the limits all the time, and I like that attitude. It's trying to kind of be an underdog in a sense. You don't want, he's the kind of guy you can never underestimate. Last couple of years I thought that he was going to be pushing somebody for the title, and this year I truly believe he is.
And he's got the experience now. He's one of the elder statesmen in the series. How far can he go? Can he be pushing your likes of Zmarzlik at the end of 11 rounds?
Without a doubt. I think that what's happening right now, you can see in Warsaw too, that Zmarzlik has kind of got his feathers ruffled a little bit. He's seen that Jack Holder's there, and he's seen Jason's there, and what's happening now, I think overall, is that all the riders are seeing like, oh, he is beatable, he is upsettable, so the whole game is going to raise, and but Jason is just going to continue to get better.
Yeah, well, another rider that's really impressing so far this season is the German Kai Hülkenberg, and he's going to absolutely want to deliver in front of this patriotic home crowd. We caught up with him in Warsaw.
It's something special, I would say. I was here as a visitor 2017, I guess, and it was crazy. Yeah? So as a rider, I think it's something different than racing in front of a crowd of, I don't know, 50, 55,000 people. It's something special for sure, and I hope I can stay calm then.
Hülkenberg looks remarkably fit, though. I must say, he really has dedicated himself to the GP.
Yeah, when I come off the track, I plug the computer into the ignition box to see all the data, the revs and everything, how the bike was working or how the engine was working, and yeah, just to check if my feeling was right on the track. Now I can also change it, like the curve of the engine, and I can see pretty much everything in the computer.
So here we go then, first semi-final. Jason Doyle's off the inside in red. Kai Hülkenberg, gate number 2 in blue. Robert Lambert, gate number 3 in white. And Jack Holder, the championship leader, will go from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. Relights on. Takes up. There we go. Hülkenberg trying to get there. But look at Tough on Hülkenberg back. Meeting the sandwich. Let's keep our fingers crossed on Hülkenberg. He landed heavily over the high side.
Yeah, I was a bit unlucky. We touched coming into the first corner after the start, and I banged my head quite hard. So yeah, I feel a bit dizzy right now, but overall I'm okay. And, yeah, shit happens.
So 2 semi-finals in 2 rounds. Can he go one step further in front of a home crowd?
I don't see any reason why not. The kid has been lightning all year, you know, and he's got such a strong head. His riding style feels like it's improved from 12 months ago, and you know, in front of a home crowd here, this is his home track too, right? So I think for him, it's you know, it's. To have a German champion in Landshut right now, I mean, this place would be electric, and he's more than capable of making it happen. So I got a little bit, you know, tongue twisted there.
Carried away. Well, we spoke to him in Croatia, and he said the main challenge is not to put pressure on himself. But when we talk about this home crowd, it's at full capacity, and they're passionate. How hard is that in reality?
It's really hard. I mean, obviously he knows the track really well too, so a lot of guys are watching where he's riding today, so he's trying not to give up too much. But you know, I think for someone like him, he really wants to win here, and it's to have a German guy who's really competitive, actually who's pushing some of the top guys on day in and day out. This is I don't think he's the kind of guy that the pressure really bothers him. It's just motivation and inspiration. So yeah, I really like this kid.
Well, the riders were actually in front of us, and we were just trying to work out what mind games. Zmarzlik was talking to Vasilik, obviously their former teammates. We haven't asked you, Greg, this for the first few rounds of the season, but your prediction, and you're not allowed to say 16 names.
Oh, gosh, well, one of them, right? You know, I think really the guy you got to, I really have a lot of belief in Szymon Wozniak, and I think that his time is coming. Whether it's tonight, I'm not sure yet, but I think he's going to be pushing the limits to get there. But
Did well in qualifying?
Really well, yeah, he's looking great. But I think the guy you really got to watch out for Jason Doyle right now. I think he's the guy who's really, he's on form, and he's the kind of guy that could really make this happen. Let's see where his head is at tonight.
Yeah, and he's got steely motivation, but when does he not?
Absolutely, do or die.
Do or die. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Abby. I'm just loving that from Greg, working alongside Szymon Wozniak. I fancy his chances. Fair play to him, but nonetheless, it's going to be hugely competitive, and that's what they are racing for, of course, the World Championship trophy, a wonderful piece of artwork. We'll take a look at the wild card and the track reserves here in Landshut this evening. Norik Ladorn, a young rider and a former German champion, of course, and Martin Smolinski and Eric Riss, both of them have been twice world long track champions, so plenty of quality there, and I'm sure will be eager to take an opportunity if it comes their way. As I say, this place is absolutely heaving. I don't believe that I've seen more people in this stadium than before. It's terrific. Here come the gladiators now for the presentation. As I say, it's a smashing atmosphere here tonight, isn't it?
It is indeed, yeah. Bavarian crowd, always a relaxed atmosphere. I've got to say, if Kai Hülkenberg could pull off a victory here this evening, then I think they would certainly be a bit more vocal than they are now. But certainly a packed stadium and enjoying themselves.
Indeed. So the first rider up could well be Eric Riss, son of Gerd Riss, of course, who was a multiple world long track champion. Eric, at a very young, tender age, has replicated that on a couple of occasions as well, and had some issues last year, but is certainly a lot healthier this season, and here he comes forward now. So Eric Riss rides with the number 18 on his back if he gets an opportunity tonight.
We've never had a pair of track reserves with the experience that both Eric Riss and the next man up Martin Zmarzlik have got. Both won a couple of long track world championships. This man coming up has actually won a Grand Prix before in New Zealand, so he knows what it's all about.
Indeed he does, and Martin won the first round of the World Long Track Championship last week in Herxheim, so off to a terrific start. Norbert Verdorn coming forward now, the young wild card. Popular, terrific reception, and he'll be looking to have an exciting night. What an opportunity.
Yeah, Jankovic, he's just down in 15th place in the championship after the first couple of rounds, but he's impressed me so far this year. He's had the speed, he's made some good starts, and he's really mixing it.
Andre Lebedev's just finding it tough. Had plenty of experience last year as an injury replacement, did half the series, but so far hasn't been quite at his best. Maybe it'll be tonight when he turns his form around.
Ty Woffenden, another rider who certainly hasn't been at his best. I thought in the Narodovi when he started with a second place and a win, he looked quick when he won a race, but just lost his way mid-meeting.
Yeah, Dominic Kubera had a night to forget in the Narodovi in his homeland, looking to go a lot better here this evening. Was fast in qualifying earlier. Hopefully that's good omens for him.
Next up, Leon Madsen. He had another rider who definitely had a meeting to forget in the Narodovi in Warsaw. He will be looking for a lot more here tonight.
Mikkel Mikkelsen up next. Another Danish rider, reigning European champion, of course, has found Grand Prix hard in recent seasons, but solid start, I would suggest, from the first two rounds.
Well, Simon Wozniak, certainly Greg's favourite, as we heard, and he's had a decent start. He's been in the mix. He's really been putting it about ninth place at the moment.
Dan Bewley won the first sprint race last week. Actually picked up 15 World Championship points last weekend, so very handy indeed. Moving in the right direction, looking for a big night here in Germany.
And we are expecting a rousing response from the German fans, and we got it. But Kai Hülkenberg, he's impressed me so far. So unlucky to go out in the semi-finals in the Narodovi after that crash.
Yeah, can only agree with that. Martin Vaclik, a finalist 7 days ago after a disappointing opening round in Croatia. Keep your eyes on Martin. This place just might suit him tonight.
Fredrik Lindgren, he has fond memories of this place. 2019, he didn't drop a single point in the Speedway of Nations qualifier, so he'll be looking forward to this one.
Needs a big night, Freddie. Needs to bounce back. Robert Lambert, third 7 days ago. Can he win in Germany? Done a lot of racing in this part of the world. Feels very comfortable here, so could be a big night for Robert, going along very nicely.
Bartosz Zmarzlik.
What can we say about this man, Bartosz Zmarzlik? He's in joint second place. He's in third place in the standings, and enjoyed the Narodovi second place. He keeps getting closer to that win.
Jack Holder won his first Grand Prix in Croatia in April. Looking good, just missed out on the final 7 days ago, but he remains in second place in the championship chase.
There's the man, the resurgent Jason Doyle. It took him a while to get his 7th Grand Prix win, but he got it. It was Melbourne 2017 since his previous one, but he is enjoying life at the top of the standings at the moment.
Rightly so, Jason Doyle leading the world right now. Let's take a pause to listen to the national anthem of Germany, and Bernhard Hirtreiter will sing the national anthem.
Der Sänger der Nationalhymne, Bernhard Hirtreiter, willkommen. Und so, if you are ready, please stand up for the national anthem. So, bitte aufstehen für die
Well, beautifully sung by Bernard. Fantastic performance. We are now going to move into a moment of silence here for the very sad news that Andrei Kudryashov has passed away. And the world of Speedway sends its deepest condolences to his family and friends. So we'll just pause for a moment and pay our respects to Andrei.
Passed away following a brave fight. Leider ist der Bronzemedaillengewinner Andrei Kudryashov gestorben. So bitte ich euch, noch kurz stehen zu bleiben und eine kurze Minute des Schweigens. So, a big applause to Andrei Kudryashov.
So, a lovely moment for Andrei, who passed away far too young, 33 years of age. Very sad news indeed. And as I say, the condolences of Speedway, the world of Speedway, are very much sent towards his family and his friends. So riders now just having their group photo prior to making their way back to the pit area and preparing themselves for their first race. But while they're doing that, my colleague here will take us on a flying lap of this big track in Landshut.
Yeah, it's a big track, as you say, Kelvin. It's the biggest on the Grand Prix circuit this year at 387 metres. Straights are quite narrow, it's quite tight going into both corners. And the inside here on the back straight, coming off turn 2 into turn 3, that's where we can see a few moves being made. The track preparation, I think, is bang on today. They've tried to make a little bit of grip on the outside, so I'm sure it's going to develop into a decent racetrack later on.
We'll be hoping so. As I say, there will be a big emphasis on starting as well tonight, I suggest, but could be a bit of fireworks going in that first corner in particular. We'll take a look at the stats for the track as well. It was actually built back in the 70s here. Only took 350 days to build it. They really did get their act together. 75 is when it opened. Grand Prix, the only Grand Prix prior to tonight was in 97. 387 metres, it's a big one. Only 10 metres wide on the straight, so it's a little bit squeaky down the straights. You're going to be rubbing against the fence once or twice. Plenty of room in the corners, but not a lot of banking. And that can present a problem for riders, but they have generated some dirt on the outside. I say both straights are the same at 10 metres wide, just a little bit of banking at 1%. And both corners are pretty much the same, but they've worked the track prior to us racing this evening. Let's hope that that produces the kind of action that we saw 7 days ago, of course, in the Narodowy, which was a spectacular night of Speedway, with Jason Doyle coming out on top. First 4 races for you. Take a look at that, at them, the lineups. Where's your favourite rider? Who do you fancy? Where are they coming out of? Of course, qualifying earlier today, they all had their opportunities against the clock. It was Bartosz Zmarzlik that came out on top, and he will start in heat number 4, and he will go from the outside gate in heat number 4. Bartosz Zmarzlik, the reigning world champion. So your thoughts on the track? They have worked it on the outside just about 45 minutes before this first race. Interesting to see how that works, and plenty of water going down too.
Yeah, they're having to work very hard to keep on top of the track today. It's had qualifying at 3 o'clock this afternoon, and of course it dries out during that session, so they've worked extremely hard. I think they've done all the right things, trying to generate a little bit of extra dirt on the outside. This is going to be really interesting to see how the guys adapt, because we haven't really seen a track quite like this in the series for some time. It's got the longest straights that we will see this year, and difficult to set the bike up for.
Reminds me a little bit of Ullevi in Sweden, with those big long straights and fairly tight corners on the entrance and the exits. And we did see some pretty dramatic action there. Riders being released for the first race of the evening. It's a glorious evening indeed. They did have a lot of rain here yesterday, but it's all calmed down very nicely, and we've had a lovely sunny day throughout, almost too sunny for qualifying. We got first and third from the final 7 days ago in heat number 1 here, with Robert Lambert and Jason Doyle coming out here for the first race of the evening. Don't quite know what's going on there. A bike, maybe just Robert's just running a touch late. 2 minutes is on, but he should be okay. But maybe a bit of a comfort break just prior to the first race.
A bit late for that, but he's got 1.5 minutes left, so he should be round reasonably comfortably.
Yeah, Robert Lambert getting ever closer to winning a Grand Prix, did very well. And to get the better of Jack Holder in the semi-final, to make the final in the Narodovi. A little disappointed not to win, but nonetheless, he's had a couple of very strong Grand Prix, and as a consequence sits in 4th place in the championship. So a good, strong start from the British rider. But got to say, Jason Doyle, he is the man on a mission right now with a first and second, and there he is. He'll start in the outside gate in this opening heat of the night. Line up for you then. On the inside is Simon Wozniak in the red helmet colour. Robert Lambert, gate number 2 in blue. Noit Bladon, the wild card, gate number 3 in white. And the championship leader, Jason Doyle, off the outside in the yellow helmet colour. And gates 1 and 4, we reckon, don't we, Chris? They could be the better ones.
Yeah, as a result of qualifying, the riders get to choose their starting number and subsequently the gate positions that they will have. And certainly it appeared to me that gates 1 and 4 were favourite. 3 seemed to be the one to avoid. Of course, in this race, local favourite Norit Bladon, the wild card, will be coming out of gate 3.
Indeed he will. He may get squeezed there. We'll wait and see. Start Marshall's not happy with Jason Doyle. Here we go then. Jesper Steen Toftiv's our referee. He's got the finger on the button. Green light's on. Pipes are up and we're underway into the first corner, and it's Wozniak gives Lambert a real shove. And what a move from Jason Doyle. Steams into the lead. It's tight down the back straight with Lambert coming on strong. He slips into second place. What a dramatic first corner of Speedway that was. Quick thinking from the championship leader. Bars himself to the front.
Yeah, Lambert showing he's got plenty of straight line speed. I tell you what, Jason Doyle is going to be under fire here. It's going to be a battle down into turn 3. But as you say, Kelvin, Jason Doyle thinking on his feet, thinking so quickly in that first turn.
Brilliant move from Doyle. Very nearly threw it away by just moving a fraction off the line. Lambert looks very threatening in second place. They were neck and neck down the back straight last time around. Wozniak's steady in third. It's all about the front 2 here. Lambert's got pace. He's got a lot of pace, looking for a way through. But I say Doyle's got to hang tough. Keep it on the line. Lambert running round high and wide. His wheels in line, generating more and more speed. No room at the end there. Doyle has ridden very smart there on the last turn. Doyle starts where he left off in the Narodovi, winning races once again. Good Speedway race, nothing to choose. I thought for a moment that Lambert was through. It was neck and neck at one point, but Doyle just about recovered. And Jason Doyle, from that outside gate, gets off to a winning start here in Landshut this evening. 3 points for Doyle out in front. Robert Lambert back in second place. 2 points. Simon Wozniak, 1 point, and Norit Bladon misses out in the opening race of the night.
Yeah, the opening race, about 2 things. The quick thinking Jason Doyle in the first turn. We saw that in the Narodovis. Thinking so quickly. Doesn't make a great start. It's a fairly even break. Sees the gap open up, just cuts back to the inside. The other thing this race is about is the sheer speed that Robert Lambert's got in a straight line.
Yeah.
He was definitely quicker than Jason Doyle, just no way past. I think Jason will maybe need to just look for a little bit more speed, but hey, 3 points.
Yep, he nearly gave it up. This was the moment, wasn't it, where Roberts just got his nose in front, but Jason just recovers.
Yeah, it was getting so tight down there, but it was good thinking from Lambert. He knew he just got to wait for a gap to open up. There wasn't much of one. Jason Doyle, I think, searching the track, realising maybe he wasn't generating enough speed, but couldn't afford to move off the line.
3 points in the bag, though, 2 points. Victor Lambert. They'll be pleased with that. Solid start. And Jason Doyle's form continues at SGP level. Heat number 2 then. We've got Kubera, Kvec, Lindgren and Bewley out here. Lindgren knows his place well. In 2019 there was an SON, Speedway of Nations qualifier here, and he got a maximum 18 out of 18. Loved it that night, and it's a massive night for Lindgren, who's had a slow start to this championship. Line up for heat number 2. Off the inside is Dominic Kubera, looking for a big night. Jan Kvec from the Czech Republic, gate number 2 in blue. Freddie Lindgren out of gate number 3 in white. And Dan Bewley, the sprint winner last week, off the outside in the yellow helmet colour. Lindgren needs a big night. Not ideal starting from gate 3 in your first ride.
No, it's going to be tough from there, and especially with Kubera on the inside. He seemed to come alive today in qualifying. Second quickest out there.
Yeah, he did. And there's no doubt that Kubera on this sort of track could be a major threat. Big, wide, far, not big, wide, big track, not so wide.
Not so wide, no.
Not so wide, it's a bit tight down the straight. So, start marshals, quite fussy here this evening. Thanks. So he moves away, green light is on, tapes up. Oh, great reaction from Kubera on the inside. They all get there in a heap, but it's all Kvec's off. Kvec is off. Not a total surprise to see some drama in the first corner here. I've seen it on plenty of occasions. I've watched meetings here, I've ridden in them, and so have you, Chris, back in '97, of course, but it is quite tight, and young Jan there just got it all wrong.
Yeah, particularly going into the first turn. If it's an even break, all 4 riders getting there together, it's very tight, it's narrow, it turns quite quickly. It's good to see that he's...
decision to be made by the referee now. I'm not sure whether there was any real contact. We'll see a replay, of course, but it was... I hope that Jan can be in the rerun, but there is a possibility, of course, that somebody...
He's up.
About. Just an awkward fall, wasn't it? It was just, let's see it again. Great reaction from Kubera.
Yeah, flies away from the inside gate. In blue there, we can see Jan Kvec fairly... he just picks up, collects the back of Kubera there. And it's his own mistake, I would suggest.
Yeah, but look at Kubera, he pulls a massive locker in front of him. Watch this again, Chris.
Yeah, Kubera on the inside in red there, just front wheel across the grass. Yeah, his body language says he does, but I'm not sure he stops that much. At the same time, actually, Jan Kvec has just collected a bit of a rut going into the corner and gone straight. If you watch the rider in blue, bike does straighten up a little bit on him, but we are hearing it's all 4 riders back, so that's
right
good
decision.
news.
Right decision from the referee. A little bit of 6 of one, half a dozen the other.
Yeah.
Kubera there pulling a big locker. I think he almost stops the bike there.
Yeah, he does pull a locker.
Kvec had no choice, but
an awkward crash, high side. So easy to do a collarbone here. Oh, I don't know how he hasn't, to be honest.
He's young, that's why he hasn't.
He's flexible.
He's flexible. So if it was you and I, we might not have got up from that one. But
I would still be there now.
Yeah, taking a breather. So we'll have a short pause as a consequence of that. Riders will be back in the pit area. Doyle getting off to a great start. Bit of argy-bargy in the first corner there with a bit of clashing. As I say, it is a fantastic crowd, and it's so good to see a change of venue. We've been going to northern Germany in the recent past, in Tetero, where we've had a good run, but now there's a switch now to Bavaria, and we are in Landshut. There are lots of tracks down in this part of the world, lots of long track meetings, grass tracks meetings and speedway events held in this part of the world. Glorious part of the world as well, very pretty. But Phil Morris will just give Jan Kvec and his team an opportunity to get themselves organised for the rerun.
Yeah, as an ex-rider, Phil's very good at this particular aspect of his job. He keeps an eye on the team and the work that they have to do on the bike. You can see there's clutch lever being replaced and general preparation being made. But yeah, Phil always very fair with the riders.
Yeah, so a few running repairs. Far from ideal. They won't want to change the bikes. The bikes are actually quite flimsy, so they can twist and bend, particularly when they've been bouncing around a fairly firm track like this. Freddie's ready. He wants to get on with it. Just taking a moment while we've got this pause to talk about Freddie Lindgren. Lindgren is world number 2. He is at the moment in 5th place on 23 points, but that's 15 points behind the leader. And I know that he would have been very disappointed not to have made the final. He's made every final apart from this year in the Narodowy. He's won it twice there. He won last year, so disappointing evening for Freddie 7 days ago.
And it was the end of a 7 final run as well, so that was disappointing for him. He hadn't made a great start from Gate 3. We said earlier, Gate 3 is the one that everybody wanted to avoid. And Dan Bewley had actually got across him, but then ran into traffic on the inside of him.
2 minutes, guys.
So Phil Morris now saying that the 2-minute clock is on the rundown, so riders will be permitted to enter the arena once again for the restaging of heat number 2, which will see all 4 riders come back to the tapes, which is, when we look at the replays, is, oh, well, it's the right call. It's the right call. Dominic Kubera will be a little frustrated because he'd made a fabulous start from the inside. He's got to replicate that. In Speedway, we often see it that the rider that's got away misses out second time around, which is frustrating to say the least. But Kubera at the highest level, first time as a permanent rider, does need to get cracking. It's a relentless series, and we've got 3 Grand Prix, of course, coming at us in June, so you need to be in good form. Right, Kvek's on his way. He looks a bit battered and bruised, but
yeah, I think he's a bit second-hand.
Yeah, he's making his way round to the start now. Dominic Kubera actually had an accident in practice again on last Friday.
It was a very strange one too.
Yeah, on the entrance of the first corner. Don't quite know how that happened, but it did. Kvek on his way to the tapes. We'll run through the lineup quickly for you once again. Kubera on the inside in red, Jan Kvek out of gate number 2 in blue, Freddie Lindgren out of gate number 3 in white, and Dan Bewley off the outside in yellow. Bewley looking to make his first final of the year. He's good in finals. If he makes them, he wins
them. Not a bad record.
He's got a 100% record, 3 finals, 3 wins. Made the first sprint race, and guess what? He won that as well. It's from the outside. Doyle with a fabulous move up the inside, switchback, the classic Speedway turn back in the first corner. And he did the business there. Can Bewley do something similar, or will Mr. Kubera on the inside repeat the sort of reaction he did first time out? Here we go then, second race of the evening. Tapes are up. Oh, long pause. Here we go. Kubera's made it though. He's got there. Bewley's coming hard at him, trying to get round the outside of him. Lindgren's into second place. Keep your eyes on Bewley down the back straight. Oh, that's fabulous from Bewley. Absolutely textbook there. Didn't panic. Sat still on the motorbike. Trusted the motorbike, and he fired himself to the front. Bewley's out in front. Kubera giving chase. Lindgren's back in third place with Kvek out the back. But classy stuff from Bewley.
Yeah, smooth as you like from Bewley. Just sat on the bike, kept his body weight in the right place, generated lots of speed. He's not panicking about what's underneath him. He feels confident in the bike. He's actually moving out with the dirt line, and that's the first time we've really seen people doing that tonight. I didn't see it in the first race. And disappointment for Freddie Lindgren, not the start he would have wanted.
Gate number 3, I think, Chris, though, any points will be handy early on. It is indeed. Bewley looking good in front, though. He is flying. He looks absolutely at one with the machine. Cheeky look over his left shoulder as he go down the back straight in heat number 2 for the final time. Kubera back in second place. Bewley has dominated this race. That's a wonderful start to the night. 3 points on the board. Easy as you like for Dan Bewley. Top class ride from him in heat number 2.
Super ride from young Dan Bewley. That didn't panic, made a decent start from gate 4 in these early heats, but yeah, it was great.
Result then, Dan Bewley 3 points, Dominic Kubera back in second place, 2 points for him, Freddie Lindgren 1 point for third, and Jan Kvek missing out in heat number 2, feeling a bit battered and bruised, I would suggest, but for Dan Bewley just swooping around the outside in that first corner was really smart to watch, and he didn't panic, did he? He just sat quietly on the bike and trusted it.
Yeah, Dan Bewley coming off the outside gate made a slightly better start than he did in the first attempt to run this race. Realised that Dominic Kubera had covered the inside line, just moved out on the edge of the dirt where he rode the rest of the race. Bike working perfectly, smooth as you like on the bike. Look, doesn't move his body weight around, just keeps it smooth, uses the whole width of the narrow 10-metre straights here. Perfect ride from young Dan.
Indeed it was. So 3 points for Dan and 3 points for Jason Doyle in heat number 1. Heat number 3, and the riders are out on track here. And we'll see Jack Holder for the first time this evening. But for Dan Bewley with his team there, just reflecting on his 4 laps there. And very impressive 4 laps they were indeed. So riders making their way round to the start line. Big night needed for Leon Madsen, who's had a quiet start.
11th place at the moment.
Yeah, a quiet start to the campaign in 2024. Mikkelsen trying to come better. That's him there. That's Andre Lebedev's going up to the inside gate. Mikkelsen will come out of gate number 2, but Mikkelsen, the European Championship holder, champion right now. 3 times he's won that. Needs a big night here. And Jack Holder, can he do something from the middle of the track? So Lebedev's off the inside in red, Mikkelsen out of gate number 2 in blue, Jack Holder gate number 3 in white, and Leon Madsen off the outside in yellow. Leon Madsen just hasn't been himself in the first 2 GPs. He had a really disappointing night 7 days ago.
Yeah, very disappointing. Picked up just 1 point in the Narodovi. By his standards, that is a disaster. Sits down in 11th place. Mikkelsen 1 place ahead of him in 10th. He's been consistent, but it's 8 points each round. He just needs to step it up a bit.
He does indeed. So riders coming forward. Start Marshal looks a little bit fussy here. Got to say, he is very attentive. I think that might irritate me if I was a rider.
I'm sure it would, Gavin.
Here we go then. Heat number 3. Green lights on, tapes are up. Lebedevs has made it. That inside gates work nicely. Jack Holder chopping back to the inside. Keep your eyes on the rider on the outside, Madsen. That's a lovely move from Madsen.
Here he comes up the inside.
Oh, where did he find that from? Fantastic move from Leon Madsen to go from 3rd to 1st in 1 move. Brilliant stuff from the Danish man. Lebedevs in the thick of it there in 2nd place. Jack Holder now coming under pressure from Mikkel Mikkelsen. Leon Madsen in front.
We often talk about Leon Madsen having a lot of straight line speed. He doesn't weigh very much, and he just lets the bike flow, but in a straight line he can go fast. We saw that as he roared past Lebedevs on the opening lap, and it's all getting tight at the back. Jack Holder's gone to the back. Mikkelsen putting him under a lot of pressure now.
Leon Madsen clearing off out in front, looking fabulous, really fast. Lebedevs is literally making it. He's a handbrake on the race. Got to say, look at that from Holder. Brilliant move from Jack Holder. How did he squeeze around the outside of Lebedevs? Very brave indeed. Leon Madsen's just got 1 corner to go in his opening ride. But Jack Holder, 32 World Championship points coming into tonight. Stunning ride from him. But Madsen, a return to form there. Encouraging signs for a man who finished 2nd in the World Championship in 2019. Fantastic season he had. But that's more like it from Leon Madsen. The speed he had down the back straight on the opening lap, Chris. Brilliant.
Yeah, just as soon as he got the wheels in line, got the bike straightened up, he was flying down there.
3 points for Leon Madsen, 2 points for Jack Holder, 1 point for Andre Lebedevs. Mikkel Mikkelsen misses out in heat number 3, but for Leon Madsen, a stunning start to the evening, and he got it all right here.
Yeah, it's all about inside and outside gates again. Leon Madsen has an early look across, thinks, yeah, okay, I haven't really made this, looks to make a cutback, and then decides, no, it's not on. So he just cuts back up the inside now, and I think Lebedevs, he must have thought he'd missed a gear at that point, the speed that Madsen had on it. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was. He just sort of changed gear and just literally the bike took off underneath him. It was reminiscent of the sort of speed that we saw he had in 2019. And from his perspective, long may that continue. But Madsen gets off to a good start tonight, whereas he didn't do that in the Narodovi. Got off to a very poor start, and this was a
Jack
terrific...
Holder worked super hard for this, didn't he, for these 2 points.
Good move by Holder to get around the outside.
Yeah, it was a squeeze. We've spoken about how narrow the straights are, and he really had to get the elbows in going down the home straight there. But good ride from Jack Holder, 2 points, very important for him.
Particularly when he came from gate 3. Not easy to
bonus.
score from gate 3, 2 points from there. A bonus indeed. Riders coming out for heat number 4, and it's a decent looking heat number 4. And I must say that Bartosz Zmarzlik on screen there, he was the fastest man in qualifying earlier. Took this gate, wanted to start on the outside gate in heat number 4. He'll be out in heat 5 as well off the inside gate. Massive night for Ty Woofenden. Don't know what's going on there, it's just not clicking, but he's a long way behind in the championship. Needs a massive night tonight, that's for sure.
Home favourite, gate 3. We'll be looking to make as much as he can from that, because it's not been good so far. Yeah,
anything you get. If you're not last from gate 3, I think you've done okay.
Yeah, you've done a good job. Just for clarity, there is no gearbox on the Speedway bike.
Oh, appreciate you letting me know that. I thought I made a mistake. I never had one.
You.
Yeah, Ty Woofenden off the inside in red. Martin Vasilek Gate number 2 in blue, Kai Hülkenberg from gate number 3 in white, and Bartosz Zmarzlik will go from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. It's the Trans MF FIM Speedway of Germany. We're in Landshut, we're in Bavaria, and what a night it is. It really is a lovely evening. It's a full house as well. It's a terrific atmosphere. The Germans have come out in their thousands to be here tonight. Heat number 4. Green lights on, start marshal walks away. Tapes up. Here we go into the first turn. Woofenden's there. Martin Vašík working hard alongside him. Here comes Bartosz Zmarzlik now, chopping back. Bartosz Zmarzlik, here he comes. Oh, where did he get that from? You can't do that. That's not allowed. That was fantastic from Bartosz Zmarzlik, who was red hot in qualifying, and that move was simply stunning off the first corner on the opening lap.
He timed that to absolute perfection. If Ty Woofenden had moved over, taken up all the track, which he's quite entitled to do, that could have got very nasty at the end of a very long straight. And now Kai Hülkenberg looking to try and make a move up the inside on Vašík, but there's no room there. He's working hard now. Vašík up the inside of Woofenden.
Martin Vašík coming on strong in third place, you're right, Chris. Bartosz Zmarzlik cleared off, but Vašík now switching to the outside. Woofenden is under all sorts of pressure. He hasn't got enough speed. Vašík is there, working hard. Woofenden's going to have to really grit his teeth here down the back straight for the final time. Zmarzlik, after the perfect move on the opening lap, is absolutely flown away out in front. Easy as you like. The world champion riding like a champion there. That was a stunning move out of the first corner. You don't see that every day of the week, I can assure you. And Ty Woofenden, in the end, having to hang on for second place, but that man, well, that was a super ride.
I was saying earlier today that Zmarzlik seemed to be lacking speed in his bikes. Not just then.
No, not then. 3 points for Bartosz Zmarzlik. Out of the top draw, that one. Ty Woofenden back in second place. 2 points for him. Martin Vašík working hard for 1 point. And Kai Hülkenberg just missing out. There's the positions after one ride each. 3 points for Zmarzlik, Madsen, Bewley and Doyle. Great starts for them. And all in all, a pretty decent start to the night's Grand Prix. Well, Bartosz Zmarzlik, he'll be pretty pleased with that. He was relaxed. We were chatting to him prior to qualifying, and this was sensational stuff.
Yeah, most convincing he's looked so far, actually, in the Grand Prix Series opening 2 rounds. Hülkenberg there, front wheel right over the curb, looking for a run around the inside. But look at that. Zmarzlik on the inside of Vašík, on the outside of Ty Woofenden as they enter turn 3. I mean, he just times this beautifully. He's got that right leg out of the footrest. For me, that's a scary thing to do, but it's very popular these days. Look, bouncing off the fence there, but the timing was absolutely superb. And then he just went away, lap after lap, just going away.
Battle between Vašík and Woofenden here. Woofenden had to ride smart in the end, defensively, to hang on.
Yeah, he did. You can see there he's looking over his left shoulder. He realises that Martin Vašík seems to have a little bit more speed down the straights than him, but once again, just looking at a close-up there of Zmarzlik. The balance, throttle control, everything he's got is bang on at the moment.
So let's get down to Abby for some reaction now.
Leon, we always know that you have top straight line speed, and you certainly had it in that heat.
Yeah, the bike was working good, and I made a good first corner. So yeah, it's all good for now.
And how important is a start like this after a tough start to the season, particularly in Warsaw?
I don't know how important it is. I race for somebody at home and my 2 girls at the moment, so but yeah, good start for the evening.
And I mean, you feel quite pensive at the moment. Is it just taking it stage by stage, just not giving too much away?
Yeah.
Okay, keeping your cards close to your chest, Leon. I appreciate you talking to us.
Yeah, good to hear from Leon Madsen, who started this evening in fine style there, slightly subdued. And that's not normally the case with Leon. He's quite an excitable character, particularly when he won in Boyens last year. He did a marathon celebration running round the track. But nonetheless, 3 points in the bag from his opening ride, so he'll be satisfied with that. Let's take a look at the gate success after 4 heats. Well,
Which gate do you want, Kelvin?
fairly conclusive, that one, isn't it? So nothing from gates 1, 2 and 3, and 4 wins from gate 4.
But actually, gate 4 hasn't made a single start tonight, but the winning ratio, the first turn, he got opportunities to cut back or go around the outside, so it's working really well.
So it's proven so far. So just a short pause while we have some water and some track rating going on to prepare ourselves for heat number 5, where we'll see Bartosz Zmarzlik, the world champion, for the second time this evening. How impressive was he in heat number 4? As I say, he hasn't been at his best. We haven't seen a ride like that in the first 2 Grand Prix, and he'll be hoping to maintain that sort of form throughout this evening. Zmarzlik's out here. He'll come out in heat number 5. He was the fastest man in qualifying, so he chose number 13 to race with tonight, and that gives you heat 4 and 5, and hence he will go from gate number 4 in heat number 4, and he'll come out of gate number 1 in heat number 5. No surprise to see Dan Bewley, the fastest rider, was a very impressive. Nothing between him and Leon Madsen. Bartosz Zmarzlik, well, 1/10 of it, 2/10 slower, and then Jason Doyle, who wins the opening race of the night. But Dan Bewley did look very impressive indeed, and the bike setup looked pretty much nailed on.
Yeah, spot on for Dan. He really did. He didn't have to work hard on the bike at all. He wasn't panicking. He was able to just chase the dirt line mid-track, and looked really, really comfortable out there. So if he can make a few starts, maybe a better night for Dan.
Indeed, starting will be at a premium here tonight. Take a look at the next 4 races for you as we pan down on the One Solar Arena here in Landshut. And very interesting heat number 5, I must say. Zmarzlik, Wozniak, Kubera and Holder, 3 poles and an Australian, but 1 and 2 in the world going, equal second in the World Championship chase going head-to-head here, and heat number 5 could be quite tasty. Heat number 6, we'll see Lambert and Lindgren going head-to-head. 7, Woofenden out again, looking for more speed. Doyle and Bewley going head-to-head in heat number 8. Worth waiting for, I would suggest. Plenty of work going on the track. They are keeping it under control. Will get a little easier to look after as the evening progresses, as the sun goes down. It's a bit cooler, and the water doesn't evaporate quite as quickly. But Bartosz Zmarzlik, it just clicked, didn't it? The timing, like you rightly said, the timing of that move in his opening ride was just spot on, wasn't it? Yeah, it couldn't have been any better. You know, very often you can time your move right, but then a rider does something unexpected in front of you, but it just opened up for him, and he was brave when he kept the gas on the outside of Ty Woofenden as they entered turn 3, but the gap was there, kept the elbows in, bounced off the fence, going into the corner in typical Zmarzlik style. Yeah. It's not something I recommend, but certainly it's something that he seems to be quite comfortable, quite enjoy doing. I don't think the back wheel does, but nonetheless it hasn't collapsed. So Zmarzlik on his way round for his second ride of the evening. He'll go from the inside gate. You can clearly see him wearing the red helmet. That signifies that he'll be starting from there. 3 Polish riders out here. Wozniak and Kubera will join the world champion for heat number 5. And Jack Holder, who goes from the outside gate. That could be quite handy for Jack Holder. Can he make it work? We've seen 4 victories so far. All 4 races have been won from the outside gate so far. Will Jack Holder keep that trend going? He may just do. He may do, because Bartosz Zmarzlik coming off the inside gate, it's going to be tough. They've put some water down on the slick inside surface. Traction's going to be tough for him around the curb. Line up then for heat number 5. Bartosz Zmarzlik goes from the inside in red. Simon Wozniak out of gate number 2 in blue. Gate number 3 in white is Dominic Kubera. And Jack Holder will go from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. Tasty line-up, this one, Chris. Hard one to call, because Holder, I sense, will be very keen to get the better of Zmarzlik. Yeah, as long as he can get across Dominic Kubera off gate 3 and get a clear run to the corner, then I think this is probably his, because he will have a bit more traction
in the dirt line than Zmarzlik on the inside.
Holder rode really well to come from gate number 3 to get into second place. Best performance out of gate 3, I would suggest, in the opening 4 races. But there's no doubt that Zmarzlik looked like he was in the mood in his first ride. So riders coming forward now, taking a bit of time tonight. Start marshal's a bit fussy. Is he happy? I don't know if he's ever happy. He's a bit like me, always a bit grumpy. Here we go then. Heat number 5. Jesper Steentoft is our referee. He releases them now. And look at them go. Simon Wozniak. Good a start from him. He gets a shove from Zmarzlik. Here comes Holder. Switching back to the inside. Smart move from Jack Holder. Needed to do that. It was Wozniak. Whoa, he had to duck under Holder's handlebars to make that move. Gone very, very wide. Holder's trying to respond. But Wozniak! Oh my goodness gracious me! Repeated it down the start and finish straight. Now here comes Zmarzlik back up the inside. Wozniak, that's a sensational bit of speedway from Wozniak.
Zmarzlik doesn't know where he's coming from next. That is a brilliant couple of laps from Wozniak there. Absolutely superb stuff. Really caught Zmarzlik unaware. He just didn't know where he was coming from. And Jack Holder, the hoodoo is broken now for gate 4. He's in 3rd place.
Well, Simon Wozniak, he's never ridden better in a speedway race. That was extraordinary stuff from him. He's into the last lap, and Bartosz Zmarzlik had no answer. He took him by surprise. He made the similar move on both straights early in the race, and Wozniak is going to pick up a brilliant win here in his second outing. Heat number 5 is going to get tight. Here comes Zmarzlik up the inside. Closing, not enough. Wozniak deserved to win that. When you make moves like that, you deserve. In actual fact, he deserves a bonus for that, I would suggest. Brilliant speedway from Simon Wozniak. He'll be delighted with that. So with his coach, Greg. Greg will be proud of that.
He didn't just pass the 4 times world champion once, he did it twice.
Indeed he did. Simon Wozniak, a massive 3 points for him there. Bartosz Zmarzlik back in second place, 2 points, 1 point for Jack Holder, and Dominic Cabrera misses out in heat number 5. Wow, this meeting's really quite lively, and I'm enjoying it immensely. I hope you are at home, because action like this, you can't fail but enjoy it.
As I said, Zmarzlik will never find the traction around the inside as he pulls a big lead around the first turn, and Wozniak gets the shove out, goes wide in the dirt, which is where he saw him getting wider and wider with each lap as the race went on. But at this point, Zmarzlik looks over his right shoulder, says, OK, you're going out there, I'm riding around the inside, thanks very much. Gets very tight down the back straight. Wozniak clouting the fence with Jack Holder running up the inside. Race settles down. Now Wozniak sees in his sights Zmarzlik, and he says, OK, you ride around the curve, I'm going around the fence. Look at the speed he's generated.
Whoa.
He's come from so far behind, and Zmarzlik has to bring that right elbow in to make sure they don't clash, and then up the inside. Zmarzlik even just lifts his leg out the way. He knows that Wozniak is not stopping.
This was brilliant. Bartosz Zmarzlik, how about that? And he went deep when he passed Holder, and I thought he'd gone too wide, but the dirt that they created prior to racing beginning worked a treat for him.
I think he thought he'd gone too wide, to be honest. I almost caught him by surprise.
I thought Holder was going to get back up the inside. It wasn't to be. Simon Wozniak, the race of his life so far, and hats off to him, lowering the colours of Jack Holder and Bartosz Zmarzlik in spectacular fashion. Heat number 6 then. It's got something to live up to, heat number 6. Martin Vasilek will go from the inside in red. Andrei Lebedev's gate number 2 in blue. Robert Lambert, gate number 3 in white. And Freddie Lindgren off the outside in yellow. Freddie, just the 1 point from his first ride from gate 3, so he'll be looking for more this time. Martin Vasilek, likewise, looking for a little bit more this time. Martin, who finished 4th in the Narodovi 7 days ago, he's got a 3rd place to his name from his first ride. Here we go then, heat number 6. Green light is about to come on. It's on now. Takes her up. Away we go. It's tight into the first corner. Very little to choose between the 4 riders. Got to say, Robert Lambert has ridden a dream first corner there. Martin Vasilek responding off the first corner. Freddie Lindgren trying to get up the inside of Lebedev's. Found no racing room at all. Brilliant move from Martin Vasilek to fire himself to the front. Lebedev's has done...
Lindgren.
Yeah, but Lebedev's has done well to come in 2nd place. And Lambert now. This is fantastic stuff. You can't take your eyes off of it, Chris?
This race meeting is really livening up now, and Lambert done a great first turn from gate 3 to cut back, but he's gone backwards now as Lebedev takes the chase onto Martin Vasilek, who really rode a wise opening lap. Just had that extra traction around the outside on turn 1, and right around the curve down there on turns 3 and 4. Now he's moving out.
Yeah, Martin Vasilek, riders have figured it out. There's dirt coming off of turn number 4. He stretched himself away. Lambert is coming on strong in 3rd place with Andrei Lebedev, who had made a really good move early in the race. One last blast round the final corner. Martin Vasilek's got it comfortably in the bag. Robert Lambert can find no way past Andrei Lebedev. Martin Vasilek onto 4 points from 2 outings. Desperately disappointing for Freddie there. Freddie just outpaced, just couldn't get amongst the action. But for Martin Vasilek, Andrei Lebedev's making moves early in the race, coming through in fine fashion. 3 points for Vasilek then. Andrei Lebedev's back in 2nd place, 2 points, 1 point for Robert Lambert. And Freddie Lindgren missing out. Disappointing start for Lindgren, 1 point from 2 rides so far.
Yeah, very disappointing for Freddie. Heats 5 and 6, this meeting really coming alive now. Track seems to be making plenty of lines. And the lads certainly seem to be enjoying themselves out there, and it gets rather tight at times. You can see Martin Vasilek there, gets off the inside, makes a decent start. Robert Lambert, I thought he was going to pull clear here, but he just runs out of traction on the inside there on the wet surface as Martin Vasilek just gets the back wheel and a little bit of extra dirt, goes around the inside on the opening lap, but then he starts to move out. And Freddie Lindgren here dives up the inside of Lambert, thought he was going to start to make a move. But eventually Robert Lambert settles down into 3rd place. But Lebedev looks like he's got plenty of speed, doesn't he?
Yeah, he wasn't that impressive first time out, but a few tweaks. Scored a point in his first one from the inside, but that time he had a lot more speed. Robert Lambert's had big speed, but can't get off the start. And if he can rectify that, then who knows, he could well be in with a shout tonight. But for Martin Vasilek, no real surprise to see him winning race. He really is a racing snake. He turns sideways, he disappears. And 4 points to his name. Riders are up at tapes for heat number 7. And we're seeing Mikkelsen, Woofenden, Kvek and Bledorn for the 2nd time. Woofenden had a 2nd place first time out, but it wasn't that convincing.
No.
It was a little bit... it wasn't quite quick enough. It's got gate 2 this time.
The other 3 riders in this race have all failed to score, so they'll be looking to put points on the board.
Yeah, and you would suggest it's an opportunity for Ty to get amongst the big points. Mikkelsen on the inside in the red helmet colour. Gate number 2 in blue is Ty Woofenden. Jan Kvek out of gate number 3 in white, and Norik Bledorn will go from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. As I say, Norik was just outpaced a wee bit in his first one. As you rightly say, Jan Kvek had that heavy fall. You can see on the Kevlars, all the shale up his back where he was rolling around in that first corner. But for Ty Woofenden, maybe just the sort of race that he can get his nose in front here and get back to winning ways. Here we go. Heat number 7, tapes are up. Mikkelsen's made a good jump. Woofenden's there right alongside with him. Bledorn with a cut back to the inside.
Great move.
Nice move from Norik Bledorn. Here they come though, either side of him. Wow, what a race that was. Woofenden almost lifting into the corner. Must have felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Mikkelsen's high and wide. He completes the first lap. But what again? We're seeing some sensational speedway here in Landshut tonight. Mikkelsen is in front.
Yeah, Ty Woofenden showing really good motorcycling skills just to stay on the bike as they entered turn 3 on the first lap. Couldn't clock exactly what happened, but the front wheel was in the air at a nasty moment. So he's done well to get himself under control, settled down into 2nd place. But I tell you what, Mikkelsen seems to be enjoying himself, riding really wide, wider than we've seen anybody so far tonight.
Mikkelsen going great guns out in front though. He is looking good, you're dead right, Chris. He has moved off the line, got away off, oh my goodness, wheeling into the corner. I can assure you that is far from ideal. The feeling he's looking down at his motorbike down the back straight. But I'll tell you what, don't look at it too much, just keep that throttle pinned. You're going to pick up a very useful win. Something going wrong with his bike, slowing down quite significantly. Has he got a puncture? Something not quite right there, but he wins the race anyway. Ty Woofenden coming through in 2nd place. And he moves on to 4. Not quite sure what was going on there with Mikkelsen, but some concern. Slowed quite significantly coming out of the last corner. Result for you. Mickelson wins the race nonetheless, 3 points. Ty Woofenden, for the second time, finishes second, so 2 points for him. Norik Ledorn picks up his first point of the night, and Jankovic misses out in heat number 7.
That's a mystery, that one.
Yeah.
I mean, he had so much speed throughout the race, but I think he felt that maybe he had a puncture. I don't know whether he did or not, but he launches off the start, takes a quick look to the right to see where Ty Woofenden is coming from. Meanwhile, Norik Ledorn has made a lovely cutback, but look at that, either side of him, and there, Ty had to straighten the bike up. Again, I just want to have a closer look. He's got his, I think it's, yeah, there. Just the back wheel is obviously just collected maybe a little bit of extra dirt or rut or something, but great motorcycling skills to make it look so easy. But it just, yeah, I mean, the tyre does look a bit low, but it doesn't look flat. So I'm not really sure.
He's obviously feeling something. And fortunately, he was able to. It's sort of squirming down the straight.
Yeah,
so maybe
it does suggest a tyre.
Tyre's going
maybe
down.
Malfunction of the tyre or a puncture.
But it did the 4 laps, so he was pleased with that. And after failing to score in his first ride for Mickelson, back in the points there off the inside gate. So 2 outside gates to come and a gate 3. So he'll be hoping that works a treat for him in his next 3 rides. The European champion. Heat number 8 will complete 2 rides for everybody. Riders are up at tapes, and we've got a good lineup here. We've got some race winners going head to head, and the German man as well. Jason Doyle, of course, the championship leader, won his first race. It was a long time ago now. Heat number 1. He's off the inside in red, Jason Doyle. Gate number 2 in blue is Bewley. Leon Madsen, gate number 3 in white, and Kai Hülkenberg from the outside. Now, I've got to say, Bewley and Leon Madsen, comfortably the fastest winning times in the first block of races. That man won, but it was a fair bit slower.
Yeah.
So, but you can never rule out Jason Doyle, because I can guarantee you one thing: he will be giving 100%, won't he?
He will. If he can make a start, he won't be getting out of anybody's way. I can assure you of that. But Kai Hülkenberg, he failed to score first time out, but he's coming off the outside gate, which has been working pretty well tonight.
Indeed it is, and it won the first 4 races. Kai Hülkenberg there, he'll be looking for some points now. Leon Madsen was stunning in his first ride. Dan Bewley also is very similar. Must say he had so much speed. Here we go then. Doyle's on the inside, the green light's on. Tapes are up, boom, we are underway. What a start from Doyle. He gets to the first corner, Bewley's following him through. They've gone very, very wide. Hülkenberg almost up against the air fence. Here comes Madsen.
Oh,
Madsen diving up the inside into turn number 3. Bewley's taken by surprise. Bewley's taken by surprise. Bewley just about hanging on in second place. Meanwhile, Doyle's made a mistake. Doyle's hanging on. How on earth has he held on there? He's recovered. That is remarkable from Doyle.
Tell you what, Jason Doyle made a decent start off the inside, but he has had to work so hard. The bike is pulling his arms out in all the wrong places, but when he gets his wheels in line, he's able to recover, and he's going to have to do some more of that, because Leon Madsen and Dan Bewley are all over him.
Here we go then, just over a lap to go. Jason Doyle has been riding a rodeo out there, but he's hanging on out in front. Bewley's there looking for a way through in second place. Leon Madsen's also got speed back in third. Madsen now coming up the inside. It's tight. Bewley just about responds. Got to say, Jason Doyle has ridden an absolute stormer here. How on earth he has held on to that when it's a minor miracle. Tied for second. Just shows you how much Doyle wants it. It was all over the place, Chris.
He had to work so hard for that. He didn't ride in all the right places at all the right times, but when he realised that he'd got to stretch his arms, get back on the bike and get it going forward, he did exactly that.
Remarkable performance from Jason Doyle, riding like a teenager. He's a veteran. Jason Doyle, 3 points out in front, hard earned. Dan Bewley back in second place, 2 points for him. Leon Madsen, 1 point in third, and Kai Hülkenberg misses out. Doyle leads the Grand Prix as he did 2 weeks ago in the Naradovi. Zmarzlik back in second place, 5 points for him, and Dan Bewley also the same. What a speedway meeting we are witnessing. We were a little concerned that tonight might not live up to all the expectations, but I've got to say the second block of races has been absolutely top door stuff. Don't go anywhere, we're loving it here.